What's going on, guys? So when games are about to come out, people like to make a wish list of what they want in the games. So that's what I'm going to be doing today for Borderlands Remastered. Now this game is nowhere even near confirmed or anything. It's all still rumored, but points, signs go to yes. It looks like it's going to happen, and I really fucking hope it does, because this is what the Borderlands franchise needs if we're going to move on to Borderlands 3, because the pre-sequel kind of sucks dick, and I hate to say it. I have high hopes it'll get better in the video or near the end of the game's lifespan. Other than that, these are in no particular order. Number 10 does not mean it's going to be the worst thing on the list that I want, and number 1 doesn't mean it's the number 1 thing I want on the list. It's all just random shit that popped up in my mind. Other than that, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and let's get on to the first one. Now for number 10, this is not going to surprise anyone. If it's going to be a remastered edition of the previous game, it needs better textures, better lighting, better graphics in general. Because if it's not, there's no fucking reason to really buy it, to be honest. You know, it needs to look better and all that stuff. And to be honest, there's nothing wrong with the original way Borderlands 1 looks, but it is pretty outdated considering if you look at Borderlands 2 and Borderlands the pre-sequel, it does look a lot better. It looks a lot more HD. I'm not even sure console versions of Borderlands 1 played on 720p. They might have played like on 600p. Don't claim me on that though, or quote me, whatever. I'm not sure, but they did not look good. The render distance wasn't very far. A lot of shit would get foggy. The PC version, I've never played it, but I have seen some live streams, YouTube videos, and it looks good, but it could still even use a better graphical update. I don't think there's really even any lighting or shading in Borderlands 1, and that could be something that we really want. Just better textures, better graphics all in all. Let's move on to the next one. Now for number 9, I really want an FOV scale. If you don't know what that is, it's a field of view. It's a little slider that lets you turn up how far you want the field of view in your game to be. Now I want this on the console version specifically because you will get a headache from playing some games. Borderlands 1 is fucking terrible for FOV, and even on the PC version, Borderlands 1 did not have an FOV slider. You could change it in the settings, but it did not have a supported FOV slider. Borderlands 2 and the Borderlands pre-sequel does, but on console, Borderlands does not have no FOV sliders, and the reason is because console versions cannot handle that. And before someone gets in the comments and says, fuck you, you PC master race wannabe asshole or something, I don't play PC, I play console. I admit what I have. I play on 360. I admit that it's not, that great compared to the PC version. So you may be like, well, why could it have a slider on the next gen? Most of the games that came out for next gen, including Grand Theft Auto 5, which is a fucking beautiful game, a lot of more stuff in it than Borderlands is. That shit has an FOV slider. So if that can hold up FOV, I think Borderlands on console can hold up FOV for the PS4 and Xbox One version. Now for number 8, we need upgraded UI. If you don't know what UI is, it is user interfacer. It's pretty much the menu, your inventory, the health on the screen, the shield on your screen, your ammo capacity. We really need we need an updated version of it. I'm not talking like a full out Borderlands 2 style inventory, which would be amazing if we got that. I would actually like that. But I'm just talking about a better detailed looking one, because it looks really lazily done. And I'm not going to hate on Gearbox because it was their first game. They didn't really know what Borderlands was going to be, or even what their predecessor was going to look like. But if you were to go back, I'll try to put a picture on screen if I can remember. It's legitimately just blue numbers, or a blue bar with numbers on it, and it just looks lazily done. But in the future games now, there's like, it actually reacts, it shakes and fucking all sorts of crazy shit. And if you have like amp shields, it has little red things around it. And if you have like an absorb shield, it just has all sorts of details, which is crazy. But in Borderlands 1, it's just like that. It's just normal dull shit. And then even Borderlands 1 inventory, it's just a screen with the picture of your character on it, and just has the words of your guns. It's not even pictures. There are pictures, but it looks very bad. And I'm not asking for something that looks amazing like Borderlands 2 or anything. I'm just asking for an upgraded, more HD, better looking version of the UI. Even also, the mini-map is not in Borderlands 1. There's like a compass, and it's fucking terrible to navigate. If you never played Borderlands 1 and you were to go play it right now, you would be fucked, because it is the most awkward thing ever. And even seasoned Borderlands players like me, if I were to go back onto it and play a mission I don't remember playing, I'd have a bitch finding stuff because it's very awkward, the compass. And Borderlands 2 just did a lot better with the minimap. Now, number 7 on my list, Gearbox, if you don't do this, you are truly greedy as fuck, but I have high hopes that they will do this. DLC for Borderlands 1 needs to come free with Borderlands Remastered. Now, the DLC in Borderlands 1 is actually pretty good, and there's about 3 or 4 DLC packs if I recall, and I would just be so heartbroken, I guess you could say, to see the fact that I would have to pay for DLC as an add-on. And to be honest, there's no real reason to even pay $60 for this game again unless they blow us out of the water and make it look like Borderlands 2 graphics and shit. But yeah, it just needs to come with free DLC, because if it doesn't, there's really no reason to even buy this if you play on PC or anything, or even console in that matter of fact. So yeah, I would just love to see this game come with DLC. That would just make my day, because I don't want to have to pay 60, 40 bucks, whatever they charge for this game, and then have to throw out another like fucking 30 just to get DLC. So yeah, I feel like it needs to come with it, and that would be dope. Now, number 6, I actually really want this. 60 FPS on the console versions at least. I know obviously if you play on PC it's going to shoot past 60 FPS, so this one's mainly just for PS4 and Xbox One. 60 FPS please. Now, some of you may be like, that's impossible. It's not impossible, considering Borderlands 1 came out 2009, and the game is not fucking crazy looking. It's honestly a very small environment game, and it's nothing crazy. And for anyone that plays on console like me, and you've never seen gameplay or played on 60 FPS or anything higher than that, yeah, and you're probably like, that's bullshit, you know, fuck 60 FPS, that doesn't mean shit. Go watch a YouTube video right now, not this one because this isn't in 60 FPS. Go watch PC gameplay of Borderlands or any game and tell me that shit don't look good as fuck in 60 FPS. It looks amazing. So yeah, for the console versions, if we could score 60 FPS, that would make my life, because it really does look great. It's not something insane, like if I don't have it I won't cry because I'm already used to 30 FPS. And even like on Borderlands 2, when you got Zircon and all that crazy or corrosive and shit, that bitch dips down to 20 and that just kills you. A lot of people can't stand 30 but I've played on console for so long it doesn't bother me, but I would love to see 60 FPS because it just looks smooth and feels great. Now for number 5, I'm going to come off like a total fucking weirdo on this one, but I want the gore, man. I want to see head pops. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just look it up on YouTube. Borderlands 1 gore was so ridiculous. You could set someone on fire and they would cry and scream and they would burn into ashes, or you could electrocute them and see their skeleton and stuff. Borderlands 1 was just a violent game in general. Like, if you were fighting enemies, they'd be like, fuck you, you're a pussy. They would curse, and I don't necessarily need that because I don't really care about that. In Borderlands 2, they just say, you're done, you're dead. But like, I would love to see the gore because it was so satisfying to just pop someone's head off and watch the blood fly. Like I said, I'm probably going to come off as a weirdo, and a lot of people probably don't really care for it, but that shit was just really satisfying. Most likely it won't happen because I feel like 2K Australia might be remaking this, and Australia is very strict on that shit. They don't even allow that. I think it actually got censored over in Australia. So if it gets made by 2K Australia, no gore for us. RIP, rest in pepperonis. Now, for number 4, a lot of people are going to probably disagree with me on this one, but I really want UVHM, because once you beat Borderlands 1 and you beat TVHM, there wasn't really anything else to do except for play DLC if you haven't played it, or kill Cromarex, or start a new character. And some of the loot, it was just harder to find. And don't get me wrong, loot drop rates in Borderlands 1 was crazy as fuck, but I would love to see UHM and just have scaled enemies and everything, and it would just make for a really good time. Like I said, a lot of people probably won't agree with this one, but I would love to see a third option playthrough. Now for number 3, like I said in the last one, though it was really boring in Borderlands when you got to endgame, so here's what I want for endgame. I want loot sources. If you didn't know in Borderlands 1, when you killed bosses, they would drop legendaries, but there was no assigned loot pool. In Borderlands 2, if you were like, I want an Uncanny Herald, you would farm Savagely, or if you wanted a Hornet, you would farm Knuckledragger. But in Borderlands 2, if you were like, I want a Hellfire, you just got a Hellfire. There's no actual determination to go get the Hellfire. You just got it if you got it, and you were lucky with it. So that's really something I want to see happen in Borderlands 1. I want, say, you know, I want the Destroyer of the Worlds to drop the Hellfire or something like that. It would just make my day to actually have a place to go out and find this stuff, and it would really have in-game to Borderlands 1, because like I said, no UVHM and only Cromarax. And yeah, I think it'd be just awesome. Now for number 2, I want Gearbox to keep the insane drop rates. What do you mean by insane drop rates? Go look up someone kill Cromarax on Borderlands 1. I shit you not, he will drop about 20 legendaries and probably like 5 pearlescents. And a lot of, in Borderlands 2, it's not like that. You didn't really get a lot of legendaries until later OP levels or UVHM really, and that was upsetting, because in Borderlands 1, the game didn't care about how overpowered you were. It wanted you to kill enemies. In Borderlands 1, you had all these legendaries and you just plowed through them faster than you do to your best friend's mom. It was just, you know, like you just killed enemies and destroyed them practically. And it got upsetting in Borderlands 2 when they took away the drop rates and they really killed them. Now don't get me wrong, if they did decrease drop rates, I wouldn't mind as long as they added a loot source, like I said, because if they already decreased the drop rate of me getting like a Hellfire or something, but I also don't have a place to farm for the Hellfire, then it's just going to be a bad time. So either include a loot source where I can find these guns, or just keep the insane drop rates. It's really up to you, Gearbox. Now, the final one, number 1, Gearbox, listen to this one. Don't change anything. What? You're probably really confused right now and you're like, man, this kid's fucking stupid. Here's my thing. Please don't change anything. And you may be wondering, what do you mean by that? Borderlands 1, honest to God, had flaws, but it was a fucking perfect game in gameplay wise, and it was just such an amazing thing to play. Now don't get me wrong, like everything in this list I wanted, I really do want you guys to make this in the remastered version of Borderlands 1. But I also don't want you guys to change things. Even certain glitches like General Knox's armory farming, which I know they'll probably change, or even Brick super speed glitch, which wasn't game breaking, it made him faster and it was really fucking cool. I just want you guys to change the game, but don't fucking make it something it's not. I would be so disappointed to see them change this and it just look like the fucking pre-sequel, or maybe, you know, they got rid of something that was just amazing, or got rid of like TVHM and UVHM for no reason. I don't know what they would do. That makes no sense, but you feel me. Just don't change anything. Change it, just don't go out of the window, make it something it's not, Gearbox. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you agreed with anything on me, that agree with anything I said, why not leave me in the comments what you agreed with or what you feel with me, I guess. Or and if you have anything you want in the pre-sequel, or you think anything I said you don't want in the pre-sequel, let me know in the comments. I'm just interested to see what you guys also think. Other than that, I will talk to you guys later. Peace out.